Looks like they're going to go with the same setup and strategy with Sincere Long, the sophomore striker, kind of playing alone up top, and then 3-4 midfielders for the Tygers, who competed well in that first half. But like I said, they just those last passes to try to get it up to an offensive player to really have a devastating threat, those were the ones that were lost, I think, for the Tygers. Clamping down were the Generals when it got into that territory.
And that's also just the speed of Wooster, too, taking advantage there.
Big collision. DeBolt hit the turf, didn't draw a foul. Now the Generals got 7 guys all spread out here in the attacking third.
Kind of a reset for them offensively, just backing it out, getting back into their positions, and going right at the defense again. I mean, you felt that just the wind go out of the sails of Mansfield Senior with 5 seconds left in the half there.
Oh, a header and a save there by Hawk.
Great save.
His first one of the second half and 10th overall.
Take a look at the replay of that one more time. Great cross. Had what they wanted, but Hawk was right there to ball Hawk that away.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job. The last goal is only one. He talked about how it just kind of sucked the air out of the building. That was one of the only questionable plays I think that he had there in that first half, where he just made that quick jog off the back line. You know, maybe just stand in there firm, kind of cut down the net a little bit with French charging in at you. And instead, it's resulting, of course, in the 2-0 deficit here for the Tygers. And Generals trying to add on there, but it's wide.
Yeah, they're still applying that pressure. Now they feel Mansfield Seniors on their heels in the last 15 minutes of play. Let's take a look at the replay one more time.
Caden Merrill will take the goal kick for Mansfield Senior.
Yeah, a lot of sauce behind that shot, but just a bit off target.
Nice save to keep that in.
Yeah, excellent hustle to come up and keep this up here in the offensive possession. And here is the man who did it, Mr. Hansen. Now they'll send it back to him. Try to put that into the middle of the field. Quick throw in off the restart. And a crafty setup for French.
Wow.
Hat trick for the senior.
He made that look so easy. I mean, it came out of nowhere. Came to the last absolute second that he could to shoot that, and it's 3-0 just like that.
And all 3 of his goals now coming in the last 12 minutes of gameplay. So just an avalanche on top of the Tygers here at home.
And you'll see off the throw in here, just they sped it up, got ahead, nearly a handball there, but it looked like it hit him in the shoulder, and then just faked to the post and then went far post.
And give some love to Luigi there, holding off the defender. Excellent setup, and French with just those baby steps basically there in the box. How he's able
to dance moves going on, you know, faking out the goalie.
Short little strides, took Hawk off guard. That was a tough goal.
And like I said, all it takes is just for Worcester to open the floodgates. They got that goal, and then just like that, in 10 minutes of game time, it's already 3-0. And now with the defense that they have, this may seem like an insurmountable lead.
All right, I got a trivia question for you here tonight, Travis.
I was waiting this, Brian. I was waiting for this.
I told you I was going to have one. So Worcester, of course, already has locked up the OCC championship. Okay. They can be outright champions if this score were to hold up here. Mm-hmm. So this is the 20th year of the OCC, okay? Mm-hmm. How many conference championships has Worcester won out of the 20? You know they've got at least one. So that's a giveaway that it's at least that. How many total conference championships do they have in the OCC since it started in 2003.
Mansfield Senior, though,
Big shot.
I think they wanted a trivia question too, but there it is. How many conference championships has Wooster won in the league's 20 years? Well, you got Lexington in there. They're a good squad. Madison's had some years too. I'm gonna go with.
Well, take your time here.
I'm thinking.
Right,
okay, you let me. Okay, we'll let you guys as well.
Yeah.
Give us your answer on our Facebook and YouTube comments. How many do you think Worcester's won? Now, like I said, remember, Lexington, always a good team. Madison had those great teams as well.
Right.
You have Worcester, Ashland too. So this may be a bit tougher than you think. Is look, even the refs are talking about who has it, who's done it. I don't know.
Did they win it last year? I don't think so. Was it Lexington?
Oh, they went clock. They went 34-30 on the clock.
Do those numbers have anything to do with the answer to the trivia question?
Oh, he said maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 3. Can't be none because they won it last year.
Correct. No, this year. This year they won it.
This year, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Did they win it last year?
I don't know. Well, did they win it this year yet, actually? Well, they
yeah,
at least
they've
a share.
Clinched.
Yeah, that's right.
They're in there. Oh, Tigers with a great build-up. One of the better opportunities they've had. The
Just
shot
wide
ends up wide. So 2 shots so far for Mansfield in the second half. Both off target.
I think I have a number set, but I'm not going to say it yet. You like to see this from Mansfield Senior, too. Even though they're down 3-0, you'd think other teams would just, back off. But since then, they've had 2 more shots on net. They're still applying pressure. And
oh, what a ball for Sincere.
Great play by the keeper, though.
Griffin Owen kicks the ball back into play.
He hasn't seen much in terms of play tonight, so.
Just really the second time that Griffin's even had the ball in his mitts. How about the goalie play about a week and a half ago that we saw from the St. Peter's keeper? Did you see that state record that he set? That's unbelievable.
I heard from a couple coaches that they have to review the tape because they think it was only 39 saves.
Oh, wow.
So it might not have been because they think they were saying just shots, little balls that are coming in, slow rollers to them. They counted as
They
saves.
were counting everything.
So they had the OHS. They sent the tape to the OHSA
so
to
they knocked
verify,
it down to
but
39?
they think it might be in the high 30s and not. So it's to be determined. We'll see.
I mean, how long does it take to determine that? Can't you watch the tape one time?
Well, I say that because I don't know if they've ruled on it or not yet. But OHSA has a lot to do. They just can't just stop everything. Well, I mean, maybe stop everything. And anyway.
Yeah, just for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Get one of your officiating guy gurus in there and check it out.
But they're saying there might be a discrepancy in the stat keeping for that.
I see.
But who knows? I hope it's true. That'd be great. But we'll just
even
have
if it's
to see.
39.
That's still
that'd be
still
the most
great.
saves I've ever seen.
Yes.
Number 12, Tommy Hansen throws
The
the
foul
ball.
against the TY Tigers.
Be the first going against them here in the second half.
Tommy Hansen takes the free kick.
Wooster really quick off those restarts. It's taken Mansfield off guard a couple of times so far tonight.
Once again, how many conference championships has Wooster won in the league's 20
Tommy Hansen
years?
with the throw-in.
After the scoring possession, I'll go ahead and get an answer out of you, Trav.
Sure thing.
And it looks like the Tigers are going to clear it. Generals with a nice triangle set up that time. Loft this one, takes a hop inside the box, headed down.
And who was right there?
Merrill. Oh, you talking French?
Yeah.
Making the charge?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he seems to be everywhere. He's like that fly in your room that just keeps landing on you.
You won't know this because you don't watch Ted Lasso, but they had a thing for Roy Kent, one of the characters. He's here, he's there, he's every bleeping where. Roy Kent. So you say it with French. He's here, he's there. That's what they say over in the Premier. The fans do chant that. He's here, he's there, he's every bleeping where. And a yellow card against Mansfield Senior. Let's take a look at what maybe.
Yeah, it's going to go against Quinten DeBolt, one of the captains here. And pretty similar to the yellow card that we saw earlier.
Number 12, Tommy
Maybe the
Hansen
call right
will
there.
throw
I don't
line.
know.
Let's see. Yeah, he poked it out. He
It
thought that
there?
it should have been their ball. It wasn't.
The frustration, yeah. I mean, we saw it one way, the same thing. I mean, it's both. You got to call it both ways if you're going to call that. That's all I'm going to say. Hey, how about we answer our trivia question, Brian? How many conference championships has Wooster won in the league's 20 years? I'm guessing 7.
That's a very good guess. It's not the correct answer, though. The Generals have actually won the OCC 9 times.
My second guess would have been 8.
Almost half.
9 times.
They didn't win it last year. That was Lexington's year.
Yes.
But they won it in 2020, 18, 17, 16, 2010, and then had another three-peat in 05, 06, 07. What a run.
That's.
And of those 9, I think that if they win here tonight, 5 of them would be outright championships, so they didn't even have to share with anyone. Big time.
So there you have it. Is that cross headed away? But there's your answer. 9 times. Bueller.
I honestly didn't even realize that their reign had been that dominant because, like you talked about, Ashland's had some great years. You know, I think Ashland's got 3 or 4 league titles where they've shared it a few times. Lexington is second in the conference with, I think, 6 championships. Madison only had 1 or 2. Tygers have not won it. No shares either for them.
But Coach DeBolt and company looking to change that here in the next few years.
Oh, that's going to set up backside. No one-timer, but a big shot and a save. Bronson Hill was able to shake loose.
Wow, that was if he was able to corral that off the first bounce, that would have been an open shot at net, but right there, just unable to keep it close enough, and that, you know, that cut off the angle. And speaking of angles, right back down the other way is Wooster.
Yeah, it was a sophomore Eben who was able to chase it down, keep it in play, deflected now, and Hawk can't seem to snatch it up. Whistle, maybe a dangerous play. I think he might have had close to possession. Maybe it was an offsides call.
Let's take a look. Oh, he was diving for it. He went back for the kick, I guess. Dangerous situation.
Yeah, when the keeper's got 2 hands on it, you can't just boot it out of his paws.
Oh, big chance here, Mansfield Senior. Great lead pass. Can't get the cross.
Excellent tackle coming through to just disrupt the entire timing, force him to throw it in.
Ooh. Unlucky.
Not a great throw in that time by Robinson.
Took a bad bounce. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, wow. How about this individual effort? Dribbling to the middle of the field, but just not a whole lot of jalapeno in that papa right there. As the shot just falls a little bit limp there from Canas Jr.
And one of the better names out here, Luigi.
The whole thing. Luigi Canas Jr. He's done a phenomenal job tonight of using his body to shield off defenders, mostly trying to set up his friends.
Ooh,
that's
great save
by Hawk.
Saved by Braxton Hawk.
So 3 shots on net for Wooster here in the second half. Actually make it 4. We've got to include the goal.
Always got to include that.
Big carry here by DeBolt. Looking to bring it back middle.
Every time Mansfield Senior's even been across midfield, it doesn't seem like they can't get that separation just because of the speed that Wooster has. And I think they've, I went back saying, they're used to playing on turf, and that might be a reason why they've slowed down. It seems like as the match has gone on, they've gotten used to the bounces that this grass has. and they're able to calm down and now get these attempts. Oh, what a play.
Yeah, Connors Jr.
Jeez.
brought it back right around Jackson Stentz. Wasn't able to deliver much of a shot, but
I mean, look at what he can do right here.
whoop!
Number 10, Brendan French throws the ball in.
Jeez.
And this one blasted, not on frame.
And as I said in the pregame, it's not just French that contributes to this team. You've been seeing this in the last couple of minutes. Multiple players getting in deep and making some good moves.
Yeah, so much talent out here for the Generals. This guy, though, the headliner.
I think looking more for a header there than anything else. A good idea, but just no one home.
Yeah, he certainly had Dominic Eben crashing in. Nice job stepping to the ball. It's going to stay, though, with Wooster.
You know, not only is tonight a big match for Mansfield Senior against the top squad in the OCC, but it's the final match for a couple seniors as well. It's not senior night, but it is the final match that they'll play here on this grass at Mihawk.
Robinson with the throw-in.
Sean Putt and Quinten DeBolt, both. And that's something that Coach DeBolt was saying. You know, we've got some wins under our belt this year, and most of our roster's coming back as well.
Deep throwing from the corner for the Generals. Same situation they had just a couple minutes back. Generals are really confident with the ball in crowded spaces. I think that's been one of the bigger differences so far tonight. When they've gotten to the attacking third, the Tigers have been kind of right on top of them. Good man-to-man defense at times. It's just the poise that they're showing and the opportunities created by just sneaking passes in, you know, an inch this way or an inch that way, connecting with feet.
It's focus under pressure, Brian. I mean, they just remain focused. They don't let that outside noise of 5 or 6 defenders around. They do what they want to do. And, you know, that's just attributed to the way everybody in soccer around the area, they put in that work in the off season now. You know, play AAU, go on these travel trips that you rarely saw maybe 10 years ago. But now these teams focusing on, you know, these soccer players wanting to get more in, so they join these, you know, these club teams around the area, and they really focus on their game. And it's really shown with all the teams that we have around the area. It's just gotten better in the last 10 years. We have a state championship in Madison. We have Ontario, who's state ranked on the girls' side. Lexington as well. Then you go on to the boys' side. Well, can't count out Ashland as well. Mansfield Christian girls. But then over here on the boys' side, Wooster, Ashland, Ontario, Lexington, even Clear Fork on both sides. What did I just see?
Well, that was Luigi. I mean, he pop-flied that one way over the top of the fence, just misstruck. It was an excellent build-up.
But anyway, back to my point from saying all that practice, maybe 5-10 years down ago, Wooster, they wouldn't be able to, you know, take that pressure and make some of the moves that we see. But with all the practice and all the effort that, you know, coaches and club teams and these players put in now, it's not just a secondary sport for these folks around here.
Yeah, you can certainly play kind of year-round here in this area with the evolution of indoor soccer and, you know, the AP club teams that participate during the summer as well. So, you know, that's what a lot of these guys are doing. And Coach DeBolt said that he's got a handful of kids that they're competing with the Panthers and some other AP Appleseed Premier programs around the area. So we're in a golden age, I think,
we are.
Of soccer, certainly in North Central Ohio, and I think it's becoming a much more popular sport throughout the country overall.
And that's not discrediting some of the greats we had in the past before this, like you said, golden age, because we've had some really great soccer athletes come along. But then this golden age has hit. I mean, Taylor Huff, just one name right there. You had multiple, you know, players on those two, the state runner-up and the state championship team from Mansfield Christian. Lexington, All-Americans are coming back around
Ryan
here as well.
Parker.
Not Ryan Parker, not just one or two, but multiple All-Americans on both sides, girls and boys here in North Central Ohio. It's becoming a hotbed in Ohio. We talk about it.
Ooh.
Well, after this possession.
Yeah, great deflection that time by the Tigers defense.
But we talk about with the districts alone, these North Central Ohio teams, these OCC, MYC squads, normally in the top 4 in their district, and then they go up against some SBC squads, and it doesn't matter if that SBC squad has a higher seed. It's just that the play is better down here that, they go up against the other sides, and you see in a district semifinal, it's usually just the 4 teams from around here playing each other because the soccer's just a step higher than in other parts of the state. I mean, you'll get down to the Columbus and some Cleveland area, and you have some really good soccer in Cincinnati, but other than those little spots, North Central Ohio, it's a hotbed.
See kind of a position change now for Aiden Holford, getting an opportunity to move up more as an attacker. He's in the midfield. And
I think they're going to give a corner. Did Mansfield Senior get last on that slide tackle? They punched that out. Well, you'd have to see that. There's no foul, so you'd have to say it was last touch by Mansfield Senior.
Yeah, they're going to go short from the corner. Get it to French.
Give and go.
And that one backside,
Oof.
looking for a finish. Instead, the Tigers come away with the rock. But with everybody packed in, nobody up top for them, no feet to find. Just a limited opportunity to try to get it out of their territory, as that's the second very close call there for Aiden Holford in these last couple of minutes.
Wooster shot on goal by number 19, Aiden Holford.
This feels like the last 7 minutes of the first half where Wooster's just piling it on offensively. And it's one of those, it's just a matter of time before they find the back of the net. Can Mansfield Senior, though, finally get something cleared and get an offensive set going?
Nearest target that time for the Generals was Holford on the backside on the back post. A giveaway here for Mansfield. They tried to set it up for Schoenfeld. And the Generals keeping possession. I'm hearing some fans starting to get a little bit disgruntled now. Some Tiger fans, that is, just wanting to see them just get it out of here. Another big shot.
Wow, what a save.
That uncorked by the freshman, Kaylin Relly.
Wooster shot on goal by number 21, Kaylin Rell. Saved by Braxton Hack.
Hawk again.
Kaylin Rell will take the goal kick. The corner kick.
Off the corner this time, it lands in no man's land, and nobody really made a play on it on either side. Now here comes Rell. Boy, look at the foot skills by this freshman. Turns the corner to the touchline, and the cross.
Deflected away again. Take it that last save. Just great set by Wooster, but an even better save to punch that out.
Yeah, if not for the hat trick by French, I think that second best player so far in the match might be Braxton Hawk. Kid's done a lot of great work in between the pipes tonight.
Sounds like 2 MVP candidates right there, Brian.
I think you got to give it to the nod to the kid that scored the 3 goals.
I know. I was just saying your candidate for Mansfield Senior would be Hawk, and then
certainly
for a magnet and some Halloween candy.
Yeah, and I'm only going to allow them to choose one piece. So if it does end up being Mr. French, I've got
it's a good thing I left some for them. Yeah.
I've got some regular Reese's. I got some white chocolate Reese's, some Kit Kats. I think that there's some mint Kit Kats. I'm curious to see what the selection is going to be with some of these younger kids. What's the top candy in the bucket?
Those white chocolate Reese's, though, those hit. They just hit differently. Delicious. Tigers can't keep that in. And it just seems like, 10 minutes since Mansfield Seniors had the ball past midfield?
Yeah, the possession has really been dominated. We're about probably 85-15 here in the second half. The Tigers, when they are regaining possession, I mean, they're playing those long, direct balls down the middle of the field. They've been able to connect on a couple of them, but they've just had so few opportunities here of late.
But on the other side of things, Mansfield Senior bend but not break again. They haven't given up that 4th, 5th, 6th goal. It remains 3-0 after the early goal in the second half. After that, they played pretty good defense. So we have Wooster, really good squad. Lexington, who, I mean, we know Jesse Ryder's top 5 teams. Who are your top 5 boys squads, Brian?
Oh,
big swing. Yeesh.
Another one peppered. I had not seen Wooster personally yet. This is my first time getting to see them this season. I get to see Lexington boys tomorrow. I'm excited about that. So I'm going to hold my opinion until I get to see more from Lexington tomorrow night. But I would certainly say that those are the top 2 teams, and then Ashland right there would be the third. I think Ontario is just a cut below them.
I've seen them a few times. They're getting better as the season's gone on. They put up a fight against Bay, the #1 team in the state. Yeah, I agree with you there. And they put up 12 against Clear Fork. And Clear Fork's not down this year either. It's just they piled it on.
Well, that's the team that Lexington gets to play tomorrow, so it might sway me in favor of the purple and gold if they just go absolutely bananas in the scoring column against the Colts.
And you do make a point. You've done a lot of girls soccer so far. So who do you have up there? Ontario #1?
Yeah, Ontario's far and away the best girls team that I've seen so far this season. I think Clear Fork's a really solid #2. They just can't get over the hump in those huge matches.
They got a big one Thursday.
Yeah, they do. Their schedule is just so dynamite. I mean, they played Rocky River to a pretty close match. Ontario 2 days before that in a really close match. Now they've got, I think, the #3 team in the state coming to their place on Thursday. So I really respect what they're doing in terms of scheduling teams to get ready for the tournament. But that's another squad similar to Wooster. They've got all these great regular season records, and then they get in the tournament, and they rarely are making it even to a district final. So that's got to be really frustrating for a coach that's as well respected as Coach Bechtel. And all the success they've had is here's more success, and a little stutter step, but it's blown over the top. Oh man, what a move that time by Navarro Torres, and that's going to make him sick.
Well, you got to give credit to Hawk for not completely getting his ankles broken, staying in front of the play, because if it's not for him staying on his feet, that is an easy goal. As you take a look at the replay right here. Watch. He almost broke the ankles, but stayed in front of it, forced him to the sideline or the baseline, goal line, I guess.
They call it the touch line.
The touch line. Okay, yeah, I'm more of a basketball guy, football, but he forced him down to the touch line, cut off that angle, and saved the goal. Hawk, really great effort by him tonight.
13 shots in the second half by Wooster, looking for more.
Hopefully
right
I didn't
here.
jinx him.
Holford again. I mean, they are airmailing a lot of shots, and that's a sign that you don't normally see from a good team. Squads like Wooster that score more than 4 goals per contest, you got to keep the ball down when you're shooting, because so many good things can happen off the deflections.
You got to give it a chance.
I've been kind of surprised to see that they've had so many of these opportunities just blown. That's why the Tigers are only trailing by 3.
Oh,
certainly
mutual
looked like
collision.
He got with a little push off right there to the sophomore Buckholz.
What would you like to see from Mansfield Senior here in the last 11-20?
Well, just
maybe a goal. I mean,
just hang on
like
to possession. I'd like to see them make 2 or 3 connecting passes. We've seen 1 in the second half, and now this is where it ends. Can they make another pass and get closer to net? So here we go, like a little bit of creativity. They at least had the build. They had Quinten on the outside trying to get him in some space. This is a little bit better soccer right here. Ooh. Yeah, really physical play. Double team coming down in the corner. Generals come away with it, but it's over the line, and it'll result in, well, I think actually Tigers.
It's a throw.
Okay. Thought the official was going to award a foul.
Who was it from Lexington the year they made to the state semifinal that could throw it in from the side and was like a
right
corner?
about this spot on the field?
Yeah, that's
The
exactly what it
double
reminded me.
overtime
Yes.
Play
Ryan
against
Parker.
Madison for
It
the
wasn't
win?
Parker. Who was it?
Tagliotti, I believe,
Yes.
was
Teddy?
the kid who could throw it really well.
But that exactly reminded me that he could throw it like a corner if he was down there,
But
and
there's
he
a kid
did.
right now who plays for Mansfield Christian, has the best throw-in I've seen so far in my 12, 13 years doing this job. Luke Zerby is his name. If he throws it in, it's better than having a corner kick opportunity.
Offsides on Wooster.
Offsides, Wooster.
First one against the Generals here in the second half, third overall.
Have you seen you've seen the Mansfield Christian boys play? How are they this year? It seems like they're coming back. They're at least trying to come back.
I was so impressed by them. They had a great start to the season, and then we do the first episode of the Soccer Locker, and Jesse Ryder, even though they had the best record in the area, doesn't have them in their top 5. And I'm like, interesting, because Jesse, of course, coach there, went there. I thought would have a little bit of a bias.
You got to tell the story of the state championship and runner-up pictures in this live stream at some point. But continue.
Yeah, those are legendary. He told me that he thought that they were good against the teams that they had played, but let's see what happens once they get tested, and then their next, I think, 3 or 4 matches, they had a few state-ranked opponents and stuff in there. They went on a little losing streak. So I think Jesse knew obviously a lot more about soccer than I could ever even
he's an
pretend
international champion.
Yeah, dude's unbelievable. Goes to Denmark, comes back with big trophies and such. So, yeah, I always side with him on any opinion, but for whatever reason, he's just not real happy when he wins state titles or gets to state championships.
Our boys are over at Mansfield Christian. Hopefully that match has started over there between MCS and Mapleton. But if you go into the press box and you look up, there's 2 big team pictures, one from their state championship year, one from their runner-up year. And in the runner-up year, there's Jesse in the picture with the team. Yeah, everybody's kind of smiling. Jesse stone-faced. They win the state championship the next year. There's the team all happy, pumped up. There's Jesse stone-faced again.
He's not just stone-faced.
He looks angry.
He is brutally annoyed in that photo.
And he said it was because they gave up a goal late.
Yeah.
You just won a state champ, but we gave up a goal. Jesse, man. We love you. You're one of the best coaches around.
Right,
but
I think they had a 3-1 advantage in that game, and they ended up forcing overtime and a lot of dramatics that just took too many years off his life.
The team they're facing, they got there for a reason. It's a state championship game. It's usually 2 of the best teams in the state playing. It's going to happen, and they still won it. And
just about every time I go over
there, the man
there,
wants perfection.
If he's not on the game with me, I send him a photo just with his face circled. A picture of the picture.
Yes.
Legendary.
He is. A lot of legendary coaches around here, too.
Well, that's 15 Wooster shots here in the second half, Trav. Only 6 of them have been on net.
And only 1 have made it to the back.
So I'd like to credit Mansfield some for the defense. I'm going to give Merrill a lot of credit for what he's doing right in the middle of the D. But if you're the Generals, these are just, they look like 7th grade shots where they're leaning back a little bit.
They just want to try and get it on net. Yeah, they're like, oh, you score. You got a hat trick. I just flip it on net. But it's a little bit more than that. Ooh, that's going to be a foul.
Yeah, tripped up that time by Quinten DeBolt. So it'll be foul number 2 against TY here in the second half, who's starting to run out of time. 6.5 minutes remaining here in their final home match of the season. So it appears the Generals are about to be outright OCC champions when the final whistle is blown here. I'm sure they would love to tack on one more. How many great opportunities are they going to get?
So that would be number 9, or are you counting it 10?
Yeah, I've already counted.
You counted it as 9. Okay.
Because they've already technically won the title. This is just to get the whole enchilada to yourself where you don't have to share a bite with your significant other who just reaches over on your plate. Just put up the elbow, block them out, all mine.
That's why I keep my plate close to me when I eat with you. Just so you know.
Well, I just like to dibble-dabble. You know what I mean? Like, why not try a little, slice here, big collision there. And that's the second play by Quinten DeBolt of a physical nature here. And it looks like There's a conversation going on with one of the referees and a Wooster player.
Oh, yeah, I think he was trying to go for the play. Saw Everybody's okay. We'll stay with that. You see it one more time coming up here. You see the slide tackle and then at the same time the collision.
Sure.
I think that's why there wasn't a card.
Agreed. Yeah, it didn't look like anything malicious. Just his
and
brother came sliding in.
He tried to avoid it, too. He bumped him and kind of spun around. Now the referees are talking about it. I'm surprised they haven't stopped the clock, too. They didn't call for the clock to stop. And now they have. So I think she's just saying, hey, you just calm it down a little bit. You've had a couple big plays, maybe. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's going to be the second foul on Camden. It was in about a 40-second stretch, so I understand the conversation. You're getting late in the match, getting close to tournament time. No senseless acts of violence. No need.
You know what there is a need for? Thanking our sponsor.
That's right. Acres of Fun. You can come out there and just have a great time on Friendsville Road in Wooster, where they have something truly for everyone. Because when you have over 10 acres of family fun, how can you not find something to do? So many great activities out there. You talked about the miniature golf. You think that you can beat me. We'll see, Travis. You did beat me in real golf this summer. So maybe I shouldn't have my confidence.
You know what else I like? Skee ball. They got to have skee ball acres of fun, right?
I got to go. I think I've talked myself into maybe.
Yeah, we got to go. We got to do that. Could be a team building, OH report team building. They sent DeBolt off. I don't think it was a red card, but they did send him off the field. He's over there on the sidelines now. That's all we have for now. Or is he coming back on? Nope, he's staying on the sideline. I don't know what's going on. We do need to go to Acres of Fun, though.
Well, my daughter does have a birthday coming up this weekend, and
Is it this weekend for Aaliyah?
What is she, 30 now? Soccer match. She's acts like it. She's way more mature than I am, which is astounding. It's great. I really appreciate it. Does laundry better than me. I don't know how she gets all of the ick off.
Plays the guitar better than both of us.
She's got all the talent in the world. So I think I might reward her with some Acres of Fun. Hopefully she's not watching the live stream. That way I can make it a surprise.
Can I come? I'll buy her a gift.
Yeah, okay. I think we can make that happen.
Okay. Beat you in some skee ball.
You can't beat me at my same name game.
That's true.
Come on now.
It's true.
It's the one thing I have in this world.
Did you get the copyright off of that? Get some cash from the people that?
No, well, I think they spell it a little bit different. I believe they spell it S-K-E-E.
They do. They
do. So they switch it up just enough that I don't get any royalty checks. And I'm not understanding, like, at this point,
what they're discussing.
Let them know, hey, cool it off, yellow card, go on the bench. Like, there's no need to parent here. Like, I can't see from this far away. I think she issued him a red card.
Did she give him the red now? Okay, I saw he was sent off, but I didn't see the red up in the air.
Now, unless something was said by DeBolt, I think that's a really trash red card. Because if we have do we have the replay dialed up one more time?
Yeah,
watch his brother come sliding in. It's a bang bang play. I understand that it's an aggressive play, but it wasn't because of him that it happened.
Yeah,
he had to knock over the Wooster player because of the slide tackle that came in.
Yeah, it'll give me a second to get this pack up. Here we go.
Yeah, it certainly looks like Quinten's been asked to leave.
Here we go, right here.
Right.
It's
so if that's going to be on either DeBolt. Or I'm sorry, it was Camden who was asked to leave.
Okay, let's slow it down even more here, and we'll show you.
So here comes Quinten with the slide tackle. And if he doesn't do that, it's probably just a normal soccer play.
And he kind of puts the elbow into it, but I mean, it couldn't really go anywhere with it.
I'd be cool with a yellow card.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, send him off.
A red card. And we've seen this particular official. She's been aggressive. That's her third card she's handed out tonight. 2 of them were very petty. I'm going to say now the third one, again, just because it's a red card, that's a little much.
Now, is it because he just had a foul 30 seconds earlier and it's like, you got to stop it here? You're too aggressive? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the big soccer guy here at the OH Report, but, asking a man who's played it and called it with Jesse so much, could that be because he got a rough foul here, 30 seconds later he has another foul like that? You're just, no, we don't need you on the field here doing that. I don't know.
And again, it's just too much conversation. Just let him play. If it's a foul, cool, blow the whistle.
It will be a free kick again for Wooster. Under 5 to play here.
Number 2, Hunter Kensley takes the free kick.
Wooster will have a throw-in. So what were we talking about? We were talking about skee ball and acres of fun, and before that, we were all the best teams.
Throws the ball in.
Yeah, Ontario's the best girls team in the area, I think, bar none.
And it's every year. Like I said, with the MOAC and the OCC squads, they're just. I mean, as of right now, they're better than these SBC squads. To where that district, it's the 4 teams from around the area. It's Lexington, Ontario, Clear Fork, and Madison.
I don't think that anyone's close enough to them to beat Ontario. Lady Warriors are going to have to beat themselves in the district. I know Madison has won 5 in a row.
Last year was kind of surprising to me, but Madison did have one of the best players in the area at the time as well.
Who, of course, not on the roster this year.
Yes. And with Ontario, their best player, I thought, not on the roster anymore, but they have 2 freshmen that just came in and are playing phenomenally in Pittman and Jugovic.
It almost was a blessing for them in some ways that Kyla elected to not participate because it allows those 2 freshmen to be the girls that are looked for up top. And they're not as good of athletes as Kyla was, I don't think. But I think they're better soccer players with their foot skills. I think because they're just freshmen. I mean, they're pretty sick.
Just say that again. They're just freshmen. You're going to get 3 1/4 more years of them playing.
Sure.
And if they're this good now,
look out.
I mean, maybe Taylor Huff level by senior year? I don't know. Will there ever be another Taylor Huff, though?
Well, I mean,
maybe.
At least Addie, I think, was already identified by Team USA Soccer. So she's the only other player that I've known not named Taylor Huff to have that designation from our area. So I think it's fair at this point in the career, when you look at the numbers, that she's already well over 20 goals, 20 assists.
And this is a team that just doesn't rely on her either.
Yeah, they're good.
Speaking of, how's Taylor been doing at Tennessee this year?
They
had like 3 losses to really good teams to start off the season, and I think they've gone on like a 4 or 5 match win streak since then.
Yeah, I kept in touch with her at the very beginning of the season.
We talked to her on the podcast.
And I've been a bad friend, and I don't think I've messaged her for at least 4 weeks. So that's got to be something that I do ASAP, just to kind of get a feel for what's going on.
Yeah.
2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes to play.
Oh, good-looking ball right there. I like the creativity again by French, and just the turf monster unfortunately popped up and stopped Canis Jr. from making a real charge.
See if I can get the. Here we go.
Nice takeaway in space, but deflected there from Canis Jr. So we're down to our
honestly
seconds.
Other than that final 7-minute stretch of the first half and 6 minutes of the second half, so an 11-minute stretch, Mansfield Senior's been playing pretty good soccer. Now, I mean, the defense on the back end, they have not allowed a goal despite Wooster just continuing to pepper the goal. But it's still 3-0, and those 3 goals came in about an 11-minute span.
Absolutely. It's at least been gritty soccer for the Tygers that, you know, it's such an overused saying, but the whole bend, don't break, they've allowed Wooster certainly to live down here on this end of the field. And make no mistake about it, they have just been taking up rent this entire second half down here. But the Tigers, they've packed it in. They played a little bit more defensive-minded strategy here in the second half. And they haven't allowed Wooster to score anything. But unfortunately for the Tigers, the whole point of the game is to have more points than the other team by the end of the night.
So Worcester's just happy peppering shots because they're on that end.
Sure.
And that's something that coach is probably going to tell Worcester, hey, this could have easily been 8-9-0 with all the shots we take. We just need better shot selection.
9, 8, 7, 6.
So the Wooster Generals, outright OCC champions here in 2022 as they defeat Mansfield Senior 3-0 to keep a clean slate in the OCC, a perfect 7-0. Stick around, folks. We've got the post-game show coming up, presented by Acres of Fun, where we're going to have some stats, analysis, and, of course, an interview with our MVP.
You know who it is.
It's got to be Brendan Friends. Yep. We'll have the senior captain with us right on the other side.
There's a blood shortage and we came up to Dead Lover's Point at midnight on Friday the 13th.
Lame.
Guess I'm gonna waste all this blood by dying in a predictable horror movie way.
50% of Americans like watching blood get spilled in horror movies, but only 3% donate it. When was the last time you donated blood?
Acres of Fun. There's so much to do here. We have go-karts. We have the mini golf course. We have bumper boats. There's batting cages. Of course, you can play some laser tag inside if you want to cool down, or even play in the ball pit area if your kids are a little smaller. We have got skating that you can enjoy. Did you know that we have a full-service kitchen so you can spend the day with us? Come make memories with us.
Our #1 receiver coming from the Shelby Whippets, Isaiah Ramsey.
He's caught our attention over here, and we're certainly going to keep an eye on the Willard Flashes.
We will see you next week on the Stat Leaders, brought to you by Spencer of Mansfield.
Wooster clinches an outright OCC championship tonight with a 3-0 victory over Mansfield Senior, as we'll take a look at the final stats presented by Acres of Fun. And you're going to see a whole lot of shot numbers up there, of course, Travis.
Yeah, absolutely. They just peppered the net against Mansfield Senior. 17 shots on goal on 27 shots. Offsides 3 times, but possession, Brian. 79% possession percentage to 21. They just completely held play.
And they brought that number way up, of course, in the second half.
From 69 to 79, absolutely. And then, corner kicks as well. They just controlled the whole pace here this evening. And Mansfield Senior, they tried sticking around, kept it 3-0, but Wooster just, they showed they're better. The team speed, especially up front, was the reason.
Just overall, they had better soccer awareness. They had a little bit higher elevation in their game in terms of the connectivity that they had, certainly when they got into the attacking third, and that was very evident in the second half, even though they only scored the 1 goal.
Yeah.
So, again, credit Mansfield, about 40% of that, I think that Worcester just mishit a lot of balls.
Oh, they did.
They got some clean looks on frame.
Yeah.
Hawk did a decent job in the net for Mansfield. I mean, look at the save numbers that he was able to produce in the game. He was tested a lot and did his job when called upon. It's just that you can tell that this Worcester team, they defend so well. It's got to be a little bit aggravating for a Tiger offense and anybody really probably who's played the Generals this year. But offensively, a lot of gifted kids when they get into that attacking third, and it's just evident that they have a great feel for what the next person's about to do when they're moving the soccer ball around.
Yeah. Mansfield Senior, they're still kind of learning. They do have the 7 wins, their most since 2013. But Wooster, they're an established squad. They know what to do out there. Just some of the footwork, up front. I mean, that would make my ankles break easily. What they do. Mansfield Senior, though, defensively, they allow Wooster to do that, but then recover, which helped a little bit. But you could show Wooster clearly the OCC champions and the better squad out there, but give it to Mansfield Senior as well for sticking with it. Other Mansfield Senior teams would have gone down 3-0 at the start of the second half, and it finishes 9-10. They put up a fight.
Yeah, it was a scoreless game until the 9-minute mark.
Yep.
9 minutes left, I should say, remaining in the first half. And then I think kind of the game changer, of course, 5 seconds remaining. They gambled a little bit defensively.
Yep.
And then Brendan French, he puts a second in the back. And after he got the third one at the beginning of the second half, not that it really made the Tigers do one of these things.
No.
They still competed,
yes,
but at the same time you could tell that it didn't feel like it was that competitive of a game from there. Worcester with about 90% of the possession in that second half. They truly did dominate.
Yeah, Mansfield Senior did have a little bit about midway through to where they had a few shots, one on net and a couple around it, but then other than that, Worcester just completely took control of this match and pulls out the 3-0 win.
That's right. All right, I think we'll take one more quick break, and then we'll be back with our player of the game.
There's a blood shortage and we came up to Dead Lover's Point at midnight on Friday the 13th.
Lame.
Guess I'm gonna waste all this blood by dying in a predictable horror movie way.
50% of Americans like watching blood get spilled in horror movies, but only 3% donate it. When was the last time you donated blood?
Acres of fun. There's so much to do here. We have go-karts. We have the mini golf course. We We have bumper boats, there's batting cages. Of course, you can play some laser tag inside if you want to cool down, or even play in the ball pit area if your kids are a little smaller. We have got skating that you can enjoy. Did you know that we have a full-service kitchen so you can spend the day with us? Come make memories with us.
Our #1 receiver coming from the Shelby Whippets, Isaiah Ramsey.
He's caught our attention over here, and we're certainly going to keep an eye on the Willard flashes.
We will see you next week on the Stat Leaders, brought to you by Spitzer of Mansfield.
We are back now with our player of the match, presented by Acres of Fun. None other than the senior captain, Brendan French. Hat trick for you here tonight, but I think most importantly for you is that you wrap up the OCC outright. You don't got to share it with nobody. It's all Woosters to have this season. Take me through the year that you guys have had within the league and just how good it feels to cap it off where you've beat every single team that you faced.
Obviously, it started off with Ashton beat Lex early on, which we didn't expect. So we came into that first OCC matchup against Ashton or whoever it was, and we really had to come out hard there, and we got a really good result, 6-1. And then obviously we just focused on the bigger contenders we usually face. But honestly, the hardest games we've had of the season were on the grass against the opponents we didn't think were going to be as tough. But so I just want to give credit to those guys that they really came out and gave us a really good game. And we were just really proud of being able to still play our game on the grass and get it done.
Tigers definitely had you locked up in a scoreless tie. Just 8 minutes remaining there in the first half. You finally broke through and you put one in the back. How key do you think that first goal was to creating a little bit of separation and just like finally getting on the board?
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, finishing has been a little bit of a struggle throughout the season. So just being able to get one in, just helps calm everyone down a little bit and realize that we can play. It's gonna come for us, and just be able to play the rest of the game like that.
Perhaps the backbreaker, though, coming with just 5 seconds left before that first half whistle, and when you beat a defender, you beat the keeper. Take me through that play and what you remember about it, because it just felt like it kind of sucked a little bit of the life out of the Tigers and their fan base.
Yeah, I remember there wasn't much time left. There was maybe like 20 seconds, and I saw Hunter, our center back, and I just was calling for it to just hit it up the field, and then I realized as soon as he hit it, it was probably going to bounce over, so I just started turning, and then just was hoping that he would miss it, and then which he did, and got a free shot.
So 3 goals for you here tonight. You've had a sensational career. Just tell me about your senior campaign as an individual and what it's been like for this journey where you guys are OCC champions. You've played some top-notch competition as well outside of the league, and you've been able to be, the captain and the MVP of this team so far. What's it been like through your eyes and your shoes?
It's been great. This year has probably been the hardest schedule we've had so far in my 4 years, and we've still been able to get good results coming out of this season. Obviously, the OCC is the first big step that we want to accomplish every year, but really we want to go far in the tournament and go as well as we can in the Division I high school tournament. That's what I'm focused on right now.
Yeah, certainly that's something that, Generals haven't done a great job of in the tournament since you've been in high school. So when you talked about the expectations heading into the season, what were some of the goals that you guys were talking about in terms of the tournament? Because I'm sure this is step 1, OCC, check. Now what's next for you guys?
Yeah, obviously with the added schedule, like I said earlier, we've proven that we can play with these teams, and just we have to go out and show that we can. I think we're a really good team this year. I think we're just as good as last year, and we can just go just as far, if not farther.
Well, dominant performance by you tonight. You are OH.REPORT MVP, so I've got a magnet for you, and since it's spooky season, got a few candy options in here, and I'm going to limit you to just one because I'm curious, what is the newer generation? What do you like? So take a look at some of the collection of candies we got. Break it down for me and why you're choosing what you're choosing.
So we got white Reese's. Sorry, I'm not a huge fan of white chocolate, which is I do like Kit Kats though. I'd probably have to go with a Kit Kat just because it's a classic.
And I think there's a couple different kind of Kit Kats. This one, I think the Witch's Brew might be a little bit different. This one's mint flavored.
Oh, mint flavored.
And then the regular Kit Kat.
I do like mint.
You want to roll with that one then?
Yeah, I do like mint, yeah.
All right, solid choice. I'm a big mint fan myself. And then finally, if there's anybody out there watching that you would want to give a shout-out to, show some love to someone who maybe, helped you in your soccer career, or maybe just a friend that you haven't said what's up to in a while. Go ahead.
Sure. I give a shout-out to Tim Boucher, one of my best friends. He's an adult, and he's one of my mentors, and he just really helps me out, coaches me up.
All right, our MVP presented by Acres of Fun, Brendan French. Big hat trick tonight, locking up the OCC outright. Congratulations, man. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to wrap up our coverage here from Malabar, where once again, it is Wooster, a 3-0 victor over Mansfield Senior in what was a pretty fun match, back and forth, but the Generals kind of locking it down there in that second half with a lot of the time of possession. For Hayden Gray and Travis Berardi, I'm Brian Skowronski saying so long here from Mansfield, and we got plenty of live streams coming up this week, so keep it locked in on the OH Report all the time. So long for now.